Hey everybody, what is happening? Joe the Geek here, and it's movie review time, but a different movie review. I'm gonna review all seven, that's right, all seven Transformers movies that came out in the past years, including the seventh one I went to go see 2 weeks ago, which was Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start from the first one to the second one, and here we go.
But we were already too late.
I'm going to be starting with the first one, Transformers, which was released in 2007. It was directed by Michael Bay. It was produced by Steven Spielberg, no doubt about it. And for the first film of this franchise, it was actually pretty good. I really enjoyed it because it brought back so many good memories. The first live-action Transformers, yes. Awesome. Good job, Michael Bay. At first, I was doubting of the film because some little bit changes, because I haven't watched the Transformers cartoon in a very long time since obviously I was a kid and everything. So when I saw the live action movie in 2007, I kind of doubted because I was like, why are the Transformers on Earth? Shouldn't be out in space, fighting in space and Cybertron and everything. And yeah, when I watched the cartoon TV series and actually the movie, I actually went to go review the movie last week, for Throwback Thursdays, the 1986 cartoon film, and and I realized, yeah, they did fight on Earth, and it was different in different ways because when they had Bumblebee initially was the Beetle, a Volkswagen Beetle, just like in the TV show. So they changed him a little bit, but other than that, Michael Bay did do a good job having the Transformers being on Earth and everything, just like in the TV show. And yeah, bringing back all the original Transformers, all the characters. I thought he introduced a lot of new characters, but they are actually in the TV show and the movie, the 1986 movie. So good job with that. The storyline was good because he did it with the storyline with the background of a teenager. So the short plot I'm going to give you for this movie is pretty basic. The plot obviously is about Shia LaBeouf, who plays Sam Witwicky, and Sam Witwicky, he's a troubled teenager. He doesn't know anybody. He's not really antisocial. He only has one friend. And he's trying to get the girl. His favorite girl is obviously Michaela Barnes, which is also briefly played by the wonderful and beautiful Megan Fox. And so he's trying to get the girl, and some parts are funny. So there's a part where, like, throughout the whole story, like, he makes fun of his teacher, saying that he wants to get the good grades and everything so he can buy a car. So he does like, oh, this, you know, he's like, oh, the grades are going to be pretty bad if he doesn't get them.
Okay, here's the dream. Your B minus, dream gone.
So he doesn't get the car from his father. His father's played by Kevin Dunn, also a funny character. So he gets his grades pretty well done, and his father takes him to get his first car. He first tricks him for getting a Porsche. And then he takes him to an old car dealership, which is pretty funny. The car dealership owner is played by Bernie Mac, and he tries to get Sam to get the best car ever, which is a piece of pile junk, as Sam tells his father. At first, he was about to buy the Volkswagen Beetle, which is pretty perfect for the Bumblebee character, because Bumblebee is actually Beetle. So it's pretty cool, but he changes over to an old Camaro. I think it was a 1970 something Camaro, 79. Don't quote me on that. I don't know the cars that much of the years of the cars, but he takes pretty good old Camaro, and he wants the Camaro, so he gets it. And surprisingly, the Camaro is Bumblebee in disguise. The plot goes further up in where a police car transformers. It's obviously Barricade. He actually goes after Sam and tells him that he wants the location of the cube. So basically, to Transformers, they need the cube, which is the Allspark, which brings life to other planets using the cube, mechanical life. You know, that's how they became Transformers. The cube sparks everything, machinery, mechanical, and the cube was falling into the atmosphere and onto the Earth, and it got lost. So the Decepticons wanted for their own evil being, wanted to transform all life forms on Earth and taking over the Earth. And Decepticon leader is Megatron, obviously, and he goes after Sam, but Bumblebee saves him, and the other Autobots arrive to Earth, and they also tell him that he has to help him find the cube. And it's a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. There's different things going all over the place. I like so many things happening at the same time, and I don't know what else to say. It's a good movie. Optimus Prime is obviously played by Peter Cullen once again. Just like in the 80s, Michael Bay wanted Peter Cullen. He told the interviewers and everybody that they had to have Peter Cullen. He's the only one, Optimus Prime. So it was pretty good bringing him back as Optimus Prime. He's voiced, obviously. So Megatron is now played by Frank Welker. It's played by Hugo Weaving. If you don't know Hugo Weaving, he was in the Matrix trilogies as Agent Smith, and yeah. So he plays Megatron pretty good, actually. I really enjoyed it. Storyline is pretty good. CGI is done really well with all the Transformers. The sound effects, oh my god. Sound effects was really well done. If you go watch it in an IMAX experience, I haven't watched it in IMAX. I watched it at home, the first Transformers, but I put the TV really loud. I wish I had Bluetooth IMAX speakers around me so I could hear it. The way they transform, you hear like the mechanicals going on and everything, and like, I don't know, just everything. You hear like the sound effects in the movie are so good. It's just wicked. You still hear the actual transforming sound effects, and that's pretty awesome. They kept the original transforming sound effects. Explosions everywhere. You know how Michael Bay is with explosions and everything. Josh Duhamel is playing, I forgot his name in the movie. He plays the general. He plays like a soldier in Iraq who actually experiences the first Transformers attack. And you see Scorponok in the film, which is pretty good. It's the very first Transformer. You actually see Scorponok. No, actually, you see not Scorponok. You see Blackout, which is the Black Hawk helicopter. Then you see Scorponok. So that's when you see Transformers going on. And Josh Duhamel plays the soldier. He doesn't play the general. He plays a soldier in a platoon in Iraq who's stationed in Iraq. He deals with the very first Decepticon attack in the desert. Him and Tyrese Gibson are both really well acting. Tyrese is funny too. It's just the funny parts that really got to me. A lot of good funny parts, but at the same time, you got the acting. You got Jon Voight playing the Secretary of Defense, which he's a really good actor, in my opinion, throughout the years of his films. You got Anthony Anderson, which was pretty funny, doing his funny bits, and John Turturro plays the head of Sector 7. There's so many good actors in this movie. I'm not gonna go on with the actors. It's just there's too many actors in this film. Like I said, the cameos were really well done. The cameo with Bernie Mac, and it's just really good. Transformers The 2007 version, not bad for a first film. It was actually 5-star rating for me because it brought back so many good live action things to do, and I really enjoyed it. So 5 stars for Transformers. Alright, so I'm gonna be giving you the review for Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. This is the sequel to the 2007 film. Also directed by Michael Bay. I think this was released in 2009. They still kept the storyline with Sam Witwicky, but now he went from high school to college, and the good storyline is okay for me. The storyline with Sam Witwicky going to college, it's okay. They still have the very, very fun parts of Transformers, the funny parts actually. So Transformers. So Sam goes to college now, and he has a roommate, which he's a crazy kid who goes online looking for Transformers theories and everything, and he posts everything online. And yeah, so Sam Witwicky bunks with him. At the same time, when he goes to college, he sees all these crazy symbols that his great-great-grandfather saw when he was alive. So he's seeing them in his head too. I think when the beginning of the movie, he takes a piece of this Allspark that he finds in his car, in his coat and everything, and it drops on the floor. When he touches it, this Allspark sparks, and that's when he sees all these symbols. And all these symbols, apparently, they have to show him the direct to a place where the Matrix of Leadership stands. And the Matrix of Leadership is a place right after, this happens after Optimus Prime fights Megatron, and Optimus Prime loses. So apparently he dies, and that's why Sam Witwicky has to go to all these places and look for the Matrix of Leadership. Obviously, he goes into the desert, and he actually finds the Matrix of Leadership. So it's okay movie, like still with a lot of action. There's new characters in the film. John Turturro returns as a full character, not as a half character in the first one, but he comes back in the full character. He helps Sam Witwicky look for all these clues and everything. He actually helps him all these clues. It's pretty funny because John Turturro, he starts off as a guy working in the deli, in the butcher shop and everything. So it's pretty funny. He's a retired Sector 7 employee, and now he's working in the butcher shop.
Watch your reach, huh? Take a number, young man.
Robo Warrior. No one? I never heard of him.
So he has Sam Witwicky looking for things, but pretty much there's not a lot of new characters. There's only the Fallen. He's like higher than Megatron, so he's Megatron's boss and everything. The Fallen wants to come to Earth, and he wants to activate a machine. I wasn't really too paying attention of the plot because everything was going on with the explosions and everything. So it was just really tough to look for the plot. But like I said, other than that, like the movie has his downfalls. It's too long. It drags too long with a lot of the characters and Sam's witty jokes and everything. Megan Fox is obviously coming back as Michaela Barnes. A lot of characters are back. Like I said before, Josh Duhamel, Tyrese Gibson's two characters are being in the soldiers in the army. Like I said, John Turturro's back, but the Fallen is the new character, the new Transformer. I don't know, I haven't seen him in the Transformers cartoon yet. I've been watching the Transformers cartoon lately, so it's been a long time since I haven't watched Transformers. I gotta rewatch all the episodes now, and the newer episodes have so they might have the Fallen. Probably not. I don't know if Michael Bay introduced that character in the storyline for this movie, so who knows. But the Fallen is voiced by Tony Todd, which is really good, a legend I know him from the Candyman movies, the older Candyman movies. And I just know it's because I watched The Rock the other day in the 1996 film, and he was in it, playing one of the soldiers in The Rock. So it's good to see him back playing the Fallen. Pretty cool. I enjoyed it. So a lot of explosions. Like I said, Scorponok, you see Scorponok in a brief section towards the end of the attack. Optimus Prime comes back, so don't worry. He gets newer armor, cool armor. He flies with missiles and everything, so it was pretty cool towards the end that he's alive and everything. So I enjoyed it. Not as good as the first one, but I still 4 stars for this one because the storyline I didn't get too much. It was just more of the action I liked. So not, like I said, not as good as the first one, but still pretty good. Alright guys, so I'm going to be talking about Transformers Dark of the Moon. This is the 3rd film in the franchise. Sadly, Megan Fox hasn't returned for this one, but Sam Witwicky, played by Shia LaBeouf, returns, yes, and obviously this movie has different flaws. A lot of people didn't like it because obviously Megan Fox didn't return. I heard spoilers. A lot of people heard spoilers that Megan Fox didn't want to return because of the pay and everything. She wanted more money, and Megan Fox, Michael Bay didn't want to pay her, so he replaced her with, I forgot her name. She's a model, but yeah, she's as good as Megan Fox. But we do get new characters, new actors. You got John Malkovich coming back. Being into the film now, and you also got Ken Jeong in the movie. So in this one, Sam and his new girlfriend, I forgot his new girlfriend's name anyway, so she was only in this one, so don't worry about it. I don't know much of the storyline, I mean the characters in this movie, so I just know Sam's character and most of the Transformers. So Sam and his girlfriend they live on their own together. He doesn't live with his parents anymore. They have their own apartment. And I think he wants to marry her, or she wants to be married and everything. So that's the side plot for that. More over with the Transformers plot. The Transformers now, Optimus Prime seeks more things happening on Earth with the Transformers, the other Transformers bots, the Autobots. They find Sentinel Prime. He was on a ship that crash lands on the moon, and Sentinel Prime is the higher, I guess, I don't know if he's the higher rank of Optimus Prime, but I think he's about the same because Optimus Prime keeps calling him brother in the movie. So he does have the brother version of it. So Sentinel Prime is obviously played by Leonard Nimoy, the great Leonard Nimoy. He actually played Galvatron in the 1986 movie Transformers. So, like I said, if you don't know Leonard Nimoy, he's the one and only Spock in the Star Trek TV series and most of the new movies. But yeah, he's pretty good at playing Sentinel Prime. What happens is they're looking for pillars. These pillars apparently they transport all the Decepticons onto Earth. So Sentinel Prime basically he betrays Optimus Prime. He gets the pillars for his own good, and he helps Megatron teleport all these Decepticons on Earth, so they take over the Earth, take over the world. So there's a huge Autobot Decepticon invasion, alien invasion, that looks pretty cool with all the floating Decepticon ships all over the city. You got all the small attack ships going all over the city. Also, Josh Duhamel, I don't know if he's in this film. I know Tyrese Gibson is in this movie because he plays him, but Josh Duhamel is in this movie. He in the last Revenge of the Fallen. Yeah, in the Revenge of the Fallen, Josh Duhamel and Tyrese Gibson, they have their own team called the Nest team, where the humans and the Autobots go around hunting for Decepticons on Earth. But now that one like goes like in this one that doesn't happen. Nest is finished, it's done. So everybody's on their own. Tyrese is back with the army, and also Josh Duhamel is in the army, but they're in the separate platoons. But they meet at the end of the film with the invasion, with the attacks in there. So they help each other look for ways to defeat the Decepticon army. John Malkovich is in as playing Sam Witwicky's boss. Yes, Sam Witwicky gets a job now at a high-tech. He gets a job at a high-tech place now, so it's pretty cool to see Sam Witwicky move up the world. But John Malkovich is pretty good. He has his own, like, you know, the John Malkovich voice. So I'm glad to see that happening in the film. Ken Jeong is funny in the movie. He plays Sam's co-worker, who's a crazy guy, knowing theories about like what happened with the moon landings, with the Apollo moon landings, and he thinks that it was all fake. It was just going to the moon to look for Transformers, Decepticons, Autobots, and he gives them all these hints about Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd, you know, the whole thing. So that happens. So that's Ken Jeong. Frances McDormand, she's playing. If you don't know Frances McDormand, she plays the cop, the sheriff in Fargo. She is in the movie, playing like the head person of the Autobomb hangars and all that. And she's like the director, and she's highest to like everyone, and she wants to be known for being she's pretty. I didn't like her character because she's very bossy and everything. That's my problem with Transformers Dark of the Moon. I didn't like her character. John Malkovich's character was alright. Ken Jeong was just funny. Shia LaBeouf's character was good in the first and second film, but now it's dying off, and it's just like, you know, that's Shia LaBeouf's character. I just don't want Shia LaBeouf's character returning in the future films. In the first, like I said, in the first one, they introduced him, he's pretty funny, but now it's just like his jokes are a little bland and everything. So, but other than that, I really enjoyed Transformers Dark of the Moon. Still a strong 4 stars because Sentinel Prime in this movie is just cool, wicked, because Leonard Nimoy plays Sentinel Prime pretty good, and obviously Brian Cullen, he was Optimus Prime in the first and second Transformers, and he's back in this one. Yeah, so I really enjoyed Transformers Dark of the Moon. Alright guys, we're up to Transformers Age of Extinction. This is the 4th film, still directed by Michael Bay. Michael Bay is doing strong with doing 4 films of all of the Transformers. So all new characters are in this movie. There's none of them returning. For this 4th one, you got Mark Wahlberg starring as the main character. I forgot his name. See, all these new characters, I don't know the names. So, yeah, Mark Wahlberg, his character, he plays a young guy who collects old stuff, brings it to the garage, and he makes all these inventions, all these mechanical stuff and everything. So, I really enjoyed his character because it's Mark Wahlberg, and it's a new character, brand new character. There's a Mark Wahlberg's character, and he has a daughter. I don't know the daughter's name. Like I said, I don't know none of the characters in this film, so it's just weird to see all these new characters. I don't know why Sam Witwicky, Shia LaBeouf hasn't been coming back, so I guess it's just because I have no clue why Shia LaBeouf's character didn't come back. But Mark Wahlberg, he found an old Optimus Prime transformer and he brings it back to the garage, and when he fixes him, he transforms and he tells him, "Oh, thank you." He's actually hiding Earth because everybody's hunting down Autobots. They want him back home, back in outer space. They want him off the planet. So all these people are looking for Optimus Prime. Obviously, Optimus Prime is played by Peter Cullen once again. Yeah, so that's basically the plot, and everything goes out of control in this film, like every Michael Bay movie. Stanley Tucci is in the film. He plays a doctor, scientist. He's making his own Transformers. Basically, his very first prototype Transformers is, of course, Galvatron. And Galvatron is pretty cool in this movie. Yes, if you've seen Galvatron in the old 80s cartoon, he's back. So I don't think he talks. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard him or seen him talk in this movie, but yeah, he's pretty sick. And how they transform is all nanotechnology, so they don't transform with like different things going and building and everything. When they transform, it's all like pieces to one piece to another, which is pretty cool. I like it. When you first see Galvatron transform, it was just like my eyes lit up. There's that funny part in the movie where they're on the highway and Galvatron transform. One of the Transformers transform and Bumblebee tries to shoot them, but when he transforms, they fly with the nano bites, and the nanotechnology flies through Bumblebee, and he looks back and it's just like, okay. Yeah, it's a funny part. It's a funny scene. I love that. It's like, oh, okay, new technology. Again, with the alien invasion, with all this spaceships, and they want Optimus Prime. I guess that was basically the main plot of the film. Galvatron, he has the memory of Megatron, so he does everything uncontrollably. Like when Galvatron was built, Stanley Tucci's character, the Doctor, all the scientists at the control room, they all try to control him like a remote control, trying to say, "Oh, do this and that," but he takes his own control, like a Megatron takes over, like the Megatron DNA kind of thing. So it's pretty cool to see that. I don't know how to rate this. I guess I would rate it as a 3 stars because characters are very flauntly leaving soon. They're all leaving the characters. First Shia LaBeouf, now Mark Wahlberg is in it as the main character. So I just like it just because the action, the plot I didn't really like. I actually forgot one part of the plot that I really enjoyed. The Dinobots are in with Grimlock and Slag, and so Dinobots are there, which is pretty cool. The Dinobots look very different from the cartoon, obviously. Just like, well, Optimus Prime looks the same, so it looks the same as the cartoon. So there's no, most of the Transformers, they look the same from the cartoon, so there's no complaint about that. But the Dinobots do look different. Grimlock actually looks like a dragon more than a T-Rex, which is pretty cool. But the other Dinobots, like the Triceratops, is like a Stegosaurus, and Pterodactyl, they're all the same. But that was actually a pretty good scene. I enjoyed that part. But most of the parts is just, the plot I didn't really understood, and the government goes after Galvatron too. Like the government goes after they go after Mark Wahlberg's character because he has I guess the Autobot power. I don't know. He has an Autobot gun, which I enjoy the Autobot weapon, which is pretty cool. But the government going after Mark Wahlberg's character and Stanley Tucci's character for doing stupid stuff, I think. John Lithgow, I think it is. Is it John Lithgow? I think John Lithgow, yeah. Yeah. He's the head of the government, I guess. So he asks all these people to go after them. Is it John Lithgow? Oh no, sorry, Kelsey Grammer. Oh. So Kelsey Grammer, he's the head of the government. He plays the head of the government. He goes after them. So yeah, it's new characters, like I said. I really enjoyed it. So that was my rating for Transformers: Age of Extinction.
I am Optimus Prime, and this message is to my creators. Leave planet Earth alone, because I'm coming for you.
Alright guys, we're in the 5th film now. We're almost there. 3 more movies to go to review the Transformers live action franchise. I reviewed the first 4 films. This is my review for the 5th film, called Transformers: The Last Knight. Mark Wahlberg is still the same character. His daughter is off to college now, I think. So she's not in the movie. But a lot of the new characters I don't know, like the little girl the little girl and the guy that's with Mark Wahlberg's character, the teenage guy, like the tech guy. Mark Wahlberg, he hides out in the mechanic because now he hides out in a junkyard with all the other Autobots now because he's wanted for hiding Autobots and everything. He's a wanted man worldwide and everything. But at the same time, like Anthony Hopkins is in it. He plays an old guy from England, and basically he tells Mark Wahlberg that he tells Mark Wahlberg that Mark Wahlberg, I don't know, he has a thing with Knights of the Templar and the Knights of the Round Table, King Arthur, and the Transformers are back, not just in the modern times, but back in the old Dark Ages Transformers, where Merlin finds a Decepticon knight, basically. So it's different. It's a different outtake. Merlin's played by Stanley Tucci from the previous movie, so I was like, okay, maybe Stanley Tucci has a connection. Stanley Tucci's character has a connection with Merlin, but I guess that because they just had a cameo, Michael Bay likes to use actors from the other films, so Stanley Tucci was in the previous film, so he used them as a cameo in this movie. Merlin finds, like I said, Decepticon knight and everything, and apparently the emblem or the piece of plate or something that's left with Merlin, Mark Wahlberg, and this other girl, I don't know her name. She's a British actress. Apparently, that's her great-great-grandfather. Merlin is a great-great-grandfather, the character of the girl, the British girl. So, yeah, I don't know none of the names. So it's different. I don't know the names of all these characters. I just know Sam Witwicky because I'm used to that name. Mark Wahlberg's character, he does all these cool rogue things by himself with him and a Transformer just to save some Transformers and everything. He goes out in the city and sometimes he uses weapons to destroy some Decepticons and everything. So you see Josh Duhamel in the film. I don't know through the whole film, but I know you saw him in the first half an hour of the film because he's back as a character from the previous Transformers movies. Yeah, I don't know what else can I say about this movie. It's just different from the other movies. I still give it 3 stars because I don't know much of the plot. Apparently, The Last Knight is Mark Wahlberg and the girl he falls in love with. Yeah, I think he falls in love with her anyways. But you do see Unicron in the film, more towards the end of the film. So it's pretty cool to see Unicron, the devouring planet of all planets. So I really enjoy that because Unicron is obviously the old cartoon TV series. That's what I like about the old cartoon series and the live action movies. Michael Bay brings all the characters from the cartoon series, the Transformers characters, to the big screen, so it's not like he's bringing back new characters. Only the new character I explained in the previous review, Revenge of the couple of reviews back were in Revenge of the Fallen, and which is the Fallen is the character. But other than that, the characters in this movies are pretty good, pretty solid. He does show characters from other movies, so from the cartoon series. So Unicron is here, so it's pretty cool. Plot wise, like I said, I'm not too interested of the plot wise. It's different from the other plots. I only know the strongest plot from the first two films and some of the third film, Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon. But in this one, it's just, I liked it because of the Transformers, obviously. Optimus Prime returns again, just like in the previous film. Peter Cullen, of course, Optimus Prime. And I don't know if Megatron's back. Megatron hasn't been returned. Well, Megatron in the last movie, he dies. So I'm not too sure. I gotta rewatch the last night again and see if Megatron's back. I think he is back. Yeah, sorry. Megatron is back in the full knight uniform, like a full knight in armor kind of thing. So he is back. Other than that, John Goodman plays Hound. Sorry, John Goodman plays Hound.
Just give me the word. I'll splatter him. What's in it for you is I don't kill you. Oh, punk badass. What the hell are you saying? It's a hike. Cut the crap before I drop a grenade down your throat.
Which I didn't realize until I recognized his voice. He played Hound in the previous film, Age of Extinction, and this one, which is pretty good. Kent Wannabe plays Swipe. I think the Transformer. He's a Japanese samurai Transformer, which is pretty good. Kent Watanabe. I think that's his name. Don't quote. Sorry if I mispronounced his name wrong.
Resembling warrior discipline. He's like a child.
This child is about to kick your ass.
He brings us shame.
He's back, so there's a lot of good characters are back. The last night, John Turturro makes a brief cameo when he's in India, I think it is, when he's on the phone talking to the Optimus character.
Stack 6, row C. Hurry, man. The dissolving scrotums. Let's go.
I'm going. It's very confusing talking to you.
Come on, old man.
Come on, Simmons. You said no work today. Let's get your pale ass legs and go to the beach.
I'm working here, all right? 5 minutes, I swear.
You always say 5 minutes. That means no.
So he's back for a few minutes. So you'll see a couple people here and there, but other than that, not as solid as the other ones. It's still 3 stars because it's Transformers. What are you gonna do? Alright, we're close. Alright, Bumblebee, the standalone film. This is Bumblebee. I really enjoyed this movie. I'll get back to my reading at the end. But I just want to give you what Bumblebee has to offer. In the beginning of the film of Bumblebee, you get to see them fighting on Cybertron. All the characters, they look like from the 80s. This movie is actually set in the 80s. So it's different. I forgot to talk about the other soundtracks in the other films. All the other soundtracks has like modern rock, alternative rock film songs like Green Day and Linkin Park and Imagine Dragons, all modern rock songs, which is pretty good. I really enjoy all the soundtracks of the Transformers, including Bumblebee because the soundtrack is different. So it's set in the 80s. The movie starts off as Autobots and Decepticons battling it all on Cybertron. Cybertron's falling, Decepticons are destroying Cybertron. So Optimus Prime, of course, played by Peter Cullen. Never other than that, Peter Cullen has to play by Peter Cullen has to played Optimus Prime. He sends Bumblebee to Earth because he thinks the Decepticons are gonna go to Earth and destroying Earth. So he sends him as a savior, like as a guardian to watch over. And of course, he has to hide and everything. So he gets transported to Earth, and I forgot the girl's name, but she's played by Haley Steinfeld. She finds Bumblebee in the Volkswagen Beetle, yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he finally gets a Volkswagen Beetle. He actually talks in the movie too, in a little bit in the beginning of the movie, which is pretty cool. He talks in the towards the end of the last movie too, so you get to hear Bumblebee talk, because what happens is throughout the whole movie, Bumblebee never talks, and you know why? Because this is an origin story for Bumblebee. You actually hear him talk in the beginning of the movie, but when he gets to Earth and when the Decepticons fights Bumblebee, he rips off his vocal cord, so that's why he can't talk.
Tell me where your friends are hiding.
I'll never talk.
Is that right? Then let's make it official.
Which is pretty cool. I like the origin story. It was so cool of this movie. Bumblebee has it all. He transforms into a Volkswagen Beetle just like in the cartoon. Haley Steinfeld is a pretty good actress. She was funny in the Hawkeye movies. She was a fun actress, so it's good to see her character. I think she's a tomboy. She's a tomboy. She works at a mechanical shop part-time, and the other part-time she works at a hot dog stand and a carnival. She's dealing with the loss of her father, who passes away. You don't see him pass away in the movie, but she talks about it a lot. So her mom and her brother, they're dealing with it pretty well, but she's now dealing with her mom dating a new guy. So she has that tomboy look. She's an outcast. She doesn't talk to nobody. She doesn't talk to her brother. She doesn't interact with her mom. She doesn't like her new stepfather, which she doesn't call father, actually. She calls him by his real name, so the stepfather and everything. So she's an outcast. She finds Bumblebee and she hides him in the garage. She's learning cool stuff about Bumblebee and everything. He can't talk, but she puts in a radio, so he talks through the radio. That's why he talks through the radio in the previous film. So it's all coming back. The origin story of Bumblebee in this movie is just awesome. I really enjoyed it. John Cena, he plays the Sector 7. You actually see Sector 7 tags in the beginning of this movie. So John Cena plays the head of Sector 7. He's out to get Bumblebee at first, but then he finds out what's really happening with the Bumblebee, with the Autobots, the Transformers being on Earth. Decepticons want to go back to Bumblebee, destroy him, take over the world, kill him. So I understand the plot really well, because she actually falls in love with a teenage boy across the street. And that's the Bumblebee. Bumblebee destroys Decepticons. They try to get to the towers, the tower in the town where they live in. This tower sends all these radio communications with Soundwave and the other Decepticons to come to Earth. And yeah, that's a Bumblebee. Soundtrack's amazing. It's set in the 80s. Yeah, so much nostalgic of the 80s, especially in the beginning of the film where they fight on Cybertron. They look authentic. Soundwave sounds like Soundwave, like from the 80s cartoon.
Decepticons, attack!
Yeah, it's just awesome. Like I said, the soundtrack is all 80s films, all 80s music. You got Simple Minds, you got Bon Jovi, you got so many 80s music. I didn't know this, but Haley Steinfeld, she's a singer too. There's a song that I keep hearing. It's called "Bring Me Back to Life." I never knew it was played by Haley Steinfeld. It's a catchy tune. It's on the soundtrack, but mostly the 80s is just awesome. Love this movie so much. 5 stars. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. That's Bumblebee, my review. Alright guys, I reviewed Transformers 1 through 6, including the Bumblebee movie that I really enjoyed. Now this is Transformers Rise of the Beasts. I went to go see this 2 weeks ago. I did a short review on my social media, but I'm gonna give you my full review right here with the live action review. So this is Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Brings me back so many good memories. Let's start with what happens is the Maximals. It doesn't happen on Cybertron. This actually the year is set in 1994. Maximals are on their own planet, and the Terracons, yes, the Terracons, not the Decepticons that weren't made yet. This is the Terracons, which are pretty cool. I really enjoy the Terracons and the Maximals. They come to the planet of the Maximals. They destroy the planet, but the Maximals, they actually find a way, a teleportation device, kind of like Dark of the Moon, with the pillars and everything. So they teleport to Earth, and yeah, that's what happens. So the Maximals hide on Earth. This teenager, he's kind of a low life thug kind of thing. He tries to steal cars for money and everything because he babysits his brother, his mom. You know, he's out of work. Like, he's a low class living guy living in Brooklyn, and he wants to make a lot of money because his brother has to go to a hospital for his injury, for his arm and everything. So he steals a car because the guy who tells him, "Oh, steal a car, you're gonna make a lot of money for this." Boosting this, it's a Porsche, 1994 gray Porsche. He goes to the parking lot and he boosts the Porsche, but the Porsche turns out to be a Transformer hiding on Earth, and the Porsche is Mirage, of course. Mirage is I never got why they call him Mirage, but yeah, get it, because the Mirage, you see multiple, he can transform himself to multiple, duplicate himself and everything, what's real, what's not real. That's why it's called Mirage. He is in the cartoon also, which I really enjoyed to see that. Yeah, so Mirage is in it. Optimus Prime, of course, is back, but he's played by Peter Cullen, like always. He's more of a firm Autobot, like the previous films. In the previous film, he's more loyal, he's more calm, he's more guy who could talk to and everything about his you know, he could talk to about his own personality. His personality, I like it pretty good. It's not like this personality where he's more firm. He doesn't like humans. He doesn't like bringing humans along with him because he wants to strictly be confidential. He doesn't want the whole world to know about him, especially humans. Mirage is played by Pete Davidson. If you don't know who Pete Davidson is, he's been in the other films like before. I'm trying to think where else he's been. Well, he's Pete Davidson. He plays Mirage. You got RC. She's the Transformer, right? The only female Autobot that I know. She's in the movie. She transforms into a motorcycle. You still got Bumblebee. Love Bumblebee. All the characters are there from the 80s cartoon, which is pretty cool. It's still a good movie. The Terracons, of course, like I said, and the Maximals. You got Optimus Primal. He's played by Ron Perlman, Hellboy himself. You got the Eagle. What's her name? Terra Razor, I think it's called, or Air Razor. Yeah, Air Razor. She's played by Michelle Yeoh, which is pretty cool. Also, I know Rhinox, Cheetor is there. I love the Maximals in this movie. The Autobots and Maximals, they come together. The teenager, he gets his own Transformer suit, which is okay, but it's kind of like an Iron Man thing, like how he transforms and everything. So he does get a Transformer suit. I was excited when he got his Transformer suit. I thought he was going to be large like the other Autobots, but he's kind of like his own size, like a human-sized Transformer suit, which is okay. So you see like the Autobot, the big Autobot, fighting with the Terracons and everything. And you got like this little Transformer suit worn by the teenager there. I think his name, I forgot his name. I think his name is Captain something. I said it in my short review, but I keep forgetting his name. So he gets his John Transformer suit. Bumblebee actually flies in this movie, which is pretty cool. He flies out of an airplane. He has his wings. You get a Bumblebee because he flies like a bee and everything. So that's pretty cool. The whole movie is just really good. I don't have any complaints about this movie. I love the Terracons. Just this whole movie was really good. You have to stay at the end of the movie. That was a twist. I'm not gonna spoil the ending because I'm not a guy who spoils reviews. But yeah, stay till the end. There is a pre-credit scene. There's something that's gonna leave you on that cliffhanger. I'm gonna let you know right now. Just like in the in my Spider-Man review, I'm gonna leave you on a cliffhanger. You want to see more. Oh my goodness. The ending was so good. Plus everything else. I enjoyed this movie so much. 5 stars. There's nothing else I can say about Transformers Rise of the Beast. I had to leave it on the edge like that because everybody's back. Not everybody, but the Transformers wise, like the whole Transformers franchise, I like how they had Peter Cullen doing Optimus Prime voice throughout the whole franchise. I like how they brought back so many good Decepticons, so many good Terracons. Bumblebee is back in all the films. Megatron is back in most of the films too. You got Galvatron doing a cameo in one of the films. You got the Dinobots, you got the Maximals. Like the whole franchise was pretty good. Michael Bay started off. Stephen A. Chappell, I think his name is. He directed this new Transformers Rise of the Beast, which is pretty good. I enjoyed it. There's still a lot of action, not as much as action as the Michael Bay action you see in the previous Transformers movies. Explosions, car chases, car racing and everything. You'll see a lot of that in the previous Transformers Michael Bay films. But in this one, it's pretty solid. Like I said, there's still action, but not Michael Bay action. Good job with Maximals and Terracons. I really enjoyed it. Nothing else about it. So that's my franchise review for all the Transformers 1 through 7. If you guys want to go back and listen to the other Transformers review, just slide the center back and see which one you want to watch. I gave them all different ratings. That's my review. Full review for all Transformers 6 films, plus the newest Transformers Rise of the Beast. I really enjoyed it. Mirage was just awesome, like I said. Bumblebee. Nothing I complain about the new Transformers. Like I said, stay at the end. It leaves you on a cliffhanger at the end of Transformers Rise of the Beast. Stay. I'm telling you, you want to be like, oh my god, that just happened. That's my reviews. Alright guys, if you like my reviews, just comment down below. Give me your thoughts on any other Transformers movies. Which ones you didn't like, which ones you liked. What did you like about them? What didn't you like about them? That's about it. If you guys like this video, smash that like button. Share this video. Subscribe to my channel. And as always, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Catch you there, dudes.